Woo! Now this is the way the show should start every week. Man, I can picture myself right now on the couch, and there goes the thing on the ground, flew up in the air, smoke and fire. Man, that's exciting. And this is an exciting day. Of course, this is Saturday night, 6 o'clock. That's when I used to watch Saturday Night Wrestling.
I'm taking my line.
No.
Welcome, everybody, to the Big Al Show. This is Big Al. I'm here with TNA, TJ, and I'm going to make you keep that name, even though you're not liking TNA, even though TNA is, taking it down the toilet.
Ouch.
And you want to be WCW, TJ.
NWA.
You're still upset. I'm not going to let it happen on the program because
Come on.
it's over, man, and you got to let go. And Vince McMahon owns the rights to it, and you got to let it all go.
No.
It's over. TNA, TJ it is.
No. I'm doing replays in my head. Whoa.
Here's some beer bottles dropping inside. Looks like Wrestling George up to his old tricks.
Okay.
Welcome, everybody. We got a lot of wrestling news to get into. We're going to get into the chat room. But first, I got to let everybody know we're on. I got to remind everybody. So would you fans really hate it if I left you alone for 1 minute here with TNA TJ, who's going to tell you about Impact? Saw Impact this week.
I did.
What'd you think?
What did I think? I think every week, total chaos and trash, and they're just throwing things out there. You know what TNA is to me? TNA to me is this. It's like a soda can, right? It looks good, but what they're doing is they're shaking the shit out of it, and they're handing it off, and I'm opening it, and
you always use soda as an analogy for things.
Soda's great, isn't it? Coke. But that's what they're doing. So it's like a can of soda, they're shaking it up and all over the place. And that's what it is. But, WWE is like that too, but just not as bad. At least I can sip some of the soda. TNA is just total chaos. It's everywhere. It makes no sense. There is no storylines. I mean, honest to God, I won't even mind if somebody bumped into somebody now and they made it a match. I mean, honest to God, it's that bad. Like, they're just throwing anybody and everybody out there to wrestle with no story. There's nothing. RVD, okay, man, you're going to do a three-way tonight just for the hell of it. Even though you have nothing to do with this. Mr. Anderson running in to help, what's his name? What's his name? The Pope, okay, which makes no sense. So all of a sudden, Mr. Anderson, turn good, and we don't know why. He's just, that's it. We have to, go with that.
Things back with the Wolfpack.
Yes. Isn't that exciting? The Wolfpack. So bad. They're just throwing things out there and hoping it sticks. Next thing you know, they'll bring back NWO. They'll bring back Karl Malone. They'll bring back Dennis Rodman and Jay Leno. Maybe Russo will bring back our old champion, David Arquette. What do you think? Wouldn't that be interesting? That's what I want to see. David Arquette as a world champion in TNA. Might as well.
All right, everybody, I'm back now. I did my promotion. All right, we're ready to rock and roll. Hopefully, everybody is ready to go. So we got some wrestling news to talk about right away. We're probably going to be a little bit heavy, guys, today with the TNA, being that tomorrow is Hardcore Justice. And also that we have some breaking news. We have a lot of news that is TNA related. We're still going to get into the WWE. We're still going to talk a little bit of SummerSlam. We got another match added to that card. We're going to talk about Vince McMahon a little bit. But first off, the breaking news right now, the big main event for Hardcore Justice tomorrow has been canceled.
Oh!
Jerry Lynn is backing out due to back problems.
Jerry Flynn
is a jobber from WCW, TNA TJ. He no longer wrestles, at least that I know of. Jerry Lynn wrestled in ECW and was supposed to wrestle Rob Van Dam this Sunday, has pulled out, and the main event is canceled. Now, normally this would be a big deal, right? Can you imagine if Randy Orton had to pull out 3 days before SummerSlam in his match with Sheamus, or if John Cena couldn't show up right before a pay-per-view? It would be huge, right?
Oh, yeah.
But nobody gives a shit about this because they didn't do anything to hype it.
Nope.
They just told us on Impact for the first time what the main event was. We had 2 matches that we know of that are going on tomorrow. Who's going to pay for this if they don't know what the hell they're going to see? They know they're going to see some old ECW guys, and that's about it. We have 2 matches. I wanted to do some predictions, But, I haven't been watching TNA as vigorously, and I realized we only have 2 matches to predict. Oof. That's pretty bad. So the main event is canceled, everybody. No Rob Van Dam versus Jerry Lynn. And who knows what the main event is going to be now. Brothers. Looks like a mess.
Harris Brothers. They're coming back for Russo.
Yeah.
He's going to work main event.
They might as well bring back the Harris Brothers.
They're in main events. That proves Russo is pretty bad.
Did you like seeing the Sandman? Look at Grim. Hello to everybody in the chat. We got a ton of luchadors in the chat. Those are our guests without names. We love the guests without names. They're awesome.
They are.
So welcome, luchadors. You can keep your masks on. We're big fans of the luchadors.
We don't want you to lose the mask.
Don't lose the mask. Don't dishonor yourself. You're fine the way you are. And Ron has joined us. He's here once in a while. It's not Ron Studd, though.
Oh.
Pretty sure.
You sure?
You never really do know.
You could be. Did he say?
Oh, Grun's listing the matches. Yes, they did announce a couple. Kurt Angle versus AJ Styles. No, this is for the special, I believe. This isn't for tomorrow, right? Remember they're doing the whole effing show on Thursday? Mm-hmm. This is different, from what I can tell. TNA's so damn disorganized that you can't really tell, but I'm pretty sure that's for the whole effing show, Grim.
Angle's moving up charts, getting up the rankings.
Angle is. Yeah, slowly but surely, he is getting there.
Woo!
So the matches for Hardcore Justice, Rob Van Dam versus an unknown opponent.
Oh, that's a show.
All right. My prediction, Rob Van Dam will beat the unknown opponent in the main event of the pay-per-view tomorrow. And Tommy Dreamer versus Raven, I'm going to go with Tommy Dreamer. And that's it. That's all we know.
Exciting.
Well, who are you going to go with?
I'm going with RVD.
RVD over the blank, the question mark.
The faded out gray background picture.
Yeah. Great. And Tommy Dreamer versus Raven?
It's terrible.
Who are you going for?
Raven.
Who's to win? Raven's going to win?
Yes.
We're done, everybody. There's our predictions. ECW pay-per-view tomorrow.
That's it.
Make sure you tune into that garbage.
Half-hour show.
Yeah, half-an-hour pay-per-view.
$5.
Gee, you know what, though? They're going to get a couple more buys from the ECW fans who are really, really, dying to at least get some taste of it. You know our buddy Grim, he's a big ECW fan. It's going to be fun. Let's have fun with it. Are we ever going to get good stories from TNA? No, not with the Russo writing. It's not going to happen. Is it going to be logical? No. But let's have some fun. Let's enjoy ourselves with the ECW show tomorrow. And, let's love it for what it is.
You got to bring more than 4 or 5 ECW.
Well, they have a lot. They just haven't done any stories. They haven't done any storylines. They haven't told us who's wrestling and who as far as... I guess it's going to be mostly, if not all, ECW guys. But so what? So they're just going to come out, have a couple of their old matches, maybe grab the mic, say farewell. How about some story? At least let these guys build up a storyline, bring them in, a little earlier. I know you don't want to pay them more than $500. That's what they're giving these guys, Balls Mahoney and Axel Rotten are getting $500.
That's a long way.
$500
rent.
Oh. So, $500. We could throw our own show over here. I always say that. If we had a ring, give me $4 or $5 grand, we'll have our own ECW invasion. It'll probably be better.
Oh yeah. I want to have Flo-ass injured Tommy Dreamer wrestling right away.
Flo is right. Welcome to the show, Portia. Good to have you.
Yes.
And, of course, everybody in the archives. I always like to thank our fans. I'm sorry if that gets tiring, but I love our fans, especially the ones who come each and every week. Yeah, I kiss a little bit of fans' ass because they make us who we are as far as the show goes and the listeners. So thank you guys, as always, and especially the archives because that's where we do most of our business.
Good face you are.
Yes, I'm a face and you're the heel. You are the heel.
Oh, man. Rocky Balboa over here.
Good news for TNA.
There is, finally.
Yeah.
This is good.
For the second week in a row, they got another 1.2 in the ratings.
Ow.
So that's coming up big time. When they first limped back to Thursday, they were getting, a 0.9, 0.8, 0.9, So slowly, at least, they're getting back to, 1.2 is about what they had when they were on Thursday before Hogan and Bischoff came and they moved to Monday.
Sure.
So I'd say they're about where they started.
Right, okay.
Okay, now let's see if they can actually do anything. And plus, is this a temporary bump? Is this something that's going to go away when the ECW thing goes away?
Maybe.
You know what I was thinking the other day?
What?
That out of that 1.2, how many people, how much of that do you think are fans who don't even like TNA? They're watching it just to talk trash about it. 0.7 maybe.
Yes,
0.6
from what they're
half the audience. I think half the TNA's audience doesn't like TNA, and they watch it because it's such a train wreck, and they make fun of it.
That's different than WWE.
It's not too much different.
Yes, it is.
The production's worse,
Right.
Yeah.
They're always in
The
Orlando.
storylines make no sense.
They're
Totally illogical. Not that WWE is incredibly logical, but you know, TNA is just taking it to a whole new level. And yeah, Orlando, there's a
I'm
difference.
still waiting on the
Stuck
rest
in
of
Orlando.
dude to come out and say Orlando sucks. I hate being here. You stupid Orlando fans.
Yes, Too Cold. Yeah, waiting on that. Too Cold Scorpio will be there. Grim's very excited about that. I like Too Cold Scorpio.
Too cold.
Old school from ECW back in the day. Flash Funk. Remember Flash Funk when he went to WWE?
Yes.
Flash, you're so funky.
Nice.
He didn't really make it in the WWE.
No.
Wasn't his, strong suit, I don't think. He was a wrestler. So yeah, we're going to be doing a lot of TNA talk. Sorry, WWE guys. We will get into that as well. We want to congratulate, Portia, give our best to Booker T. He had twins.
He did.
Yeah, today, I believe.
Girls or boys?
I'm not really sure.
You gotta find that out,
I'm not
buddy.
really sure. Portia probably knows. But congratulations, Booker T.
There you go, Booker.
Yeah, twins.
Harlem Heat, New Harlem Heat if they're boys.
Hey, the new Harlem Heat was born today, everybody. You heard it first on the Big Al Show. How's that for a prediction, huh?
All right.
Shane Douglas.
I like Shane.
Okay, listen, before I get into Shane Douglas, because he's really going at Dixie and tweeting. And
good for him.
He's taking it to her. So before I get into that, I want to let you have a minute, and let's get into a different topic.
Whoa.
The fans are talking about it this week, the internet community. Samoa Joe has been suspended for a month for bad attitude. Bad attitude. Now, before we get into why he was suspended, if you guys have listened to the show, you know neither one of us are what you would call huge Samoa Joe fans, right? Safe to say?
Safe to say.
So you can go ahead and tell everybody how you feel about Samoa Joe's suspension.
I feel that it was well needed. He does have a bad attitude, okay? And he thinks because he's Samoan.
Do you know what the attitude was about? Do you know what happened?
Sure.
What happened?
No, I don't.
So you don't even know.
Do I follow Samoa Joe and his attitude prior?
Everybody should know. TNA TJ is not a dirt sheet guy. You're not going to catch him checking up, on the latest stuff on the dirt sheet.
Ruin wrestling.
He doesn't want to ruin the story for him, and you got to respect that.
Thank you.
So, but let me tell you what happened. But now, of course, this is a dirt sheet. We weren't there, so we don't know exactly, but as the story goes, there was the match between him and Jeff Hardy.
Okay.
Went to a time limit draw.
Yes, I saw that.
Okay. I guess Jeremy Borash, I guess he didn't want Jeremy Borash to announce that there was 30 seconds until the time expired. Do you remember that? He announced 30 seconds left in the match. Well, I guess Joe had specifically asked that they don't do that. So it just ended, I guess, people wondering, what's going on. You could do it either way. I've seen it done both ways. I've seen it where the time limit gets announced throughout the match. I've seen it where, we've seen it where they get the win right before the time expires. And I remember seeing it. They didn't say anything. And then the bell just rings, and you're like, what's going on? So I don't think it's too big of a deal either way. I don't think it's a huge thing.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I don't think it's a huge thing. Joe apparently got frustrated, went into the back. I think he went into the production truck, or what they say, and I guess had an attitude, raised his voice, got angry.
Did he hit anyone?
I don't think he hit anyone.
Slapped Dixie.
Yeah, I don't think he would ever slap Dixie. So what do you think of that?
I think it's great. I think he should be suspended for at least 2 years for that.
Let's just revoke his wrestling license altogether.
He needs to be sent home for a while. Oh, yeah. Here we go. Buff Daddy's coming out right now. He's going to tell everybody how awesome he is and how buff and how much of the stuff that he really is. And you know what? The girls really can't get enough. Now, that's what I like. Where are these characters at now? That's why I don't like WWE. I just don't like the characters. Is that bad of me? WWE just... Characters, even the jobbers, were awesome. Hugh Morris, not much of a jobber, but kind of a jobber. Pretty damn good. I hate WWE. God, I hate WWE. The music sucks. This is the soundtrack to get. What?
Okay, I gotta tell you, bro, when I first made this music for you, it was meant for you to do your 1 minute with TNA, talk about a topic or do something. Every time I played this, all you're talking about is the damn music. The music is just, it's the background music for you to talk.
I'm sorry.
You're not supposed to just acknowledge the Nitro music every single time and tell everyone every single time how good the music is.
It's like Miami Vice. I like it. Oh, yeah. You hear that riff, by the way? All right, I think there's a window pulling up after this. Hogan's about to get out with Rodzilla. Okay? They're beating up. This is no Nexus first. This is a bunch of gay-ass wrestlers that have no superstar power. This is a real group. This is the deal, okay? Hogan, Nash, and Hall running things, not what's the damn names of these crappy wrestlers they got there? They're so bad. They had to wrestle against
Wade Barrett was good.
Oh, Wade Barrett. Okay, Wade Barrett, Hogan. Go ahead.
Wade Barrett is never going to be Hogan.
Wade Barrett, Kevin Nash.
If he's lucky to his fullest potential ever. And listen, guys, I'm not just talking about wrestling skill. Oh, he's a great wrestler. He can suplex all day. He does an awesome backdrop. He flies off the ropes. He's a good worker. That's not everything. I'm sick and tired of everyone judging the wrestlers based on how good of wrestlers they are. A lot of guys can flip and turn and do a lot of twirls. Sure. But if you don't have personality, charisma, and the look, you don't look like a freaking wrestler, you're not going to make it. And some of these guys are just not going to make it. I know you guys love them. They're great workers. They're good people. TNA might need to throw out that whole roster, tell them all to hit the road, because maybe it's just not working. Not all of them. Not all of them. There's just a couple, I would say. 75%? 75% would go. I'd say the Pope, Wolf, AJ, maybe Matt Morgan, Jay Lethal. Who else? Am I missing people? They need a power plant.
They need to get creative.
They need Jesus.
No. Ric Flair can run a power plant.
That was your idea. Everybody go follow TNATJ on Twitter. He's getting really into it. Twitter.com/TNATJ. You were ranting about this. First, you were yelling at people that the NWO is way better than Nexus. You were getting angry and yelling.
I was mad. Somebody said, not true, Nexus is better. I couldn't believe it. I almost gagged in my mouth. It was that close.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Bro, like I said, they're not even better than the Four Horsemen.
Not even close to the Four Horsemen.
Exactly. So
they're not even a tenth of DX, but they're cool, and I like that they have, a storyline. It's a storyline. Is this ECW thing in TNA a storyline? It doesn't look like it. I mean, I watched TNA this week, guys, and I have to say, I wanted to like it, but, what are they doing? What's the story? The ECW's here, and Dixie wants them to put on a show.
Yes.
And it's goodbye.
Yes.
That's the story.
Yes.
And all of it, who's wrestling? Well, to be announced.
Yes.
We got Jerry Lynn backing out of the match at the last minute.
Too much.
So when you're paying a guy $500, what are they giving Lynn? 1,000 tops? They're paying a guy $1,000. He doesn't care. Lynn was like, this is garbage. Yeah, he came on there. Yeah, we're going to do it again this Sunday. Shook RVD's hand. Shook off.
Never mind.
Yeah. Actually, RVD, my back hurts.
RVD's a stoner.
No shit.
So his back doesn't hurt.
Nothing wrong with that. Well, no, we're talking about Lynn.
Oh.
The pull out. Do you listen to anything I say? You just go off on your own.
I just do.
I know you do.
It's time to play
hurt all the time.
Douche or No Douche. Here's your hosts, Big Al and TNATJ. Douches.
Well, everybody. Oh, this guy just called us a douche. I don't believe it. It's time to play our favorite game, Douche or No Douche, courtesy of the Dan Le Batard Show.
Yes.
So let's play, and we're going to ask everybody, and you can play in the chat. That's the best part. Okay? We're going to say Douche or No Douche. You tell us what you think, if these guys or these situations, whatever they may be, Douche or No Douche. Ready?
Sure.
Jerry Lynn backing out at the last minute of the TNA Hardcore Justice pay-per-view due to back problems. Is that a douche move or no?
No douche.
No? Why?
He has a back problem. Why would he want to wrestle that crappy federation anyway?
So you think it's legit?
Yes. He's old as
all right,
hell.
I respect Jerry Lynn so much, so I'm going to say no douche. It's very last minute, man. You know, did he not realize this going in? He hasn't been booked that long.
What's he doing?
He just did this taping, you know.
What's he doing now, though?
Indie shows, I believe. I think he was in ROH for a minute again.
He didn't hurt his back cutting the lawn or anything.
I don't know when he hurt his back, but this is obviously new news.
I didn't even know he wrestled still.
So the no douche. Everyone agrees? Does no one think Jerry Lynn is a douche? Come on, guys. If John Cena pulled this, you'd be douching him all over the place.
John Cena, though.
2 days before a pay-per-view.
He's not Cena.
How did he know? You know,
Sure,
I don't know when he pulled his back out. It's very, very, very close to pay-per-view to do this if you're in the main event. Again, though, not like they hyped it worth a crap anyway.
I didn't know he was around.
Well, he is.
He's not anymore.
No. Let me get into Samoa Joe for a minute. Again, we're still in. Yeah, I'm sorry. I was going to get into the Samoa Joe. No. Samoa Joe. Yeah, let's play it. I know he's got a lot of fans. We might get some hate for this.
Oh, you might.
But Samoa Joe, I'm not asking now as a person what he did. If he went and yelled about this whole, time limit thing, douche or no douche, I go major douche. You can't. You're not the booker guy. I'm sorry. I know you think you might be a little better than you are. He's a good wrestler, okay? He's great for a big man. But like I said, a lot of guys can wrestle. Personality, does he have it? That's where I say no. Now, I respect everyone's opinion, okay? If you like Samoa Joe or any of these guys, it's your opinion. You shouldn't have to listen to me for an opinion or we can agree when we agree and disagree when we disagree. But Samoa Joe, for me, personality, doesn't have it. Charisma, he doesn't have it. The look, a little. Change the name, too. Samoa Joe sounds like a friendly guy to me. Sounds like somebody I want to go have a beer with.
The look? You like the look?
Wow, Grim said Joe's a super douche for it.
Ooh. Regan.
Portia Anderson says, no douche. Jaded Wrestling Fan agrees. Me and Jaded Wrestling Fan, we always agree. He's a douche.
He is.
Yeah, he's not bigger than and again, you're not the booker here, Joe. You know, even if you like him as a wrestler, you can't just be running around yelling at people because they didn't listen to what you wanted. I thought it would be better if we didn't announce the time limit. They've done it both ways. That wasn't anything revolutionary, Joe.
I wish you would have punched Russo.
Now, if you did that, no douche. Hey. Douche or no douche, everybody. This is a tough one. Vince frickin' Russo. Douche. Douche. Dixie, fire him, please. Anything. I'll do anything. Dixie, I'll make out with you. I know. Big Al. He'll do anything for wrestling. I'll do it if it'll get rid of Vince Russo.
They're together.
They are together, so that's never going to happen.
No, I mean, they're together.
I know. They're together. They're dating.
Hey.
I wouldn't be surprised, man. Listen. I was on my Twitter, okay? You guys follow me. I asked, the Kick-Ass Wrestling, no G. I asked everybody on my list. 2,500 wrestling fans, probably more like 1,500 at best, because a lot of, robots and crap on that site. But I asked all my fans, I must have got 20 responses from people who hate Russo. No one said they liked him. One person even said the only way they liked Vince Russo is chopped into tiny bits and fed to sharks on Shark Week.
Whoa!
I thought that was a great answer.
Oh, that's mean.
It is mean. We don't really want him to die. But we do want him to be fired. We do want him out of wrestling. We've had enough Crash TV. We've had enough disorganization. Let's take wrestling back, and let's start with taking TNA back and getting it out of Russo's hands and maybe even Dixie's hands.
Do what?
Someone buy that crap.
Anybody. Do what?
The Watt's fine.
Bring him in.
Fine. No, over-the-top rope DQ, fine. I don't care.
No more mats on the ground.
Yeah.
Going hardcore.
Okay, we're still playing douche or no douche, guys. This is the last one. But first I have to tell you what happened, and then you can tell me if it was a douche move or not, okay? Goldust. Now, whether you agree with this or not, was this a douche move? He called out Lacey Von Erich on his Twitter this week. Now, you don't see that too often, right? A WWE guy ripping on another one from specifically one person in another federation.
What did he say?
He said she has no wrestling talent whatsoever.
Yeah.
She comes from a good family, but her no, like a good wrestling family, but her no.
Mm-hmm.
And I think said something like she couldn't do any move. It was a real diss. It was a hard one. It was now I can't defend Lacey Von Erich. She's botching her moves up. But is it Goldust's place? Is it right to say this? I'm gonna go ahead and say no douche.
Me too.
I don't think there's anything wrong with a little expression. No douche, Goldust. You're free to say whatever you want about Lacey Von Erich. Well, why is he picking on Lacey, though? I mean, I know she sucks. It's not like, you know. Why don't you say something about the Pope?
Maybe she said.
Why don't you say something about Mr. Anderson? Now, that would be interesting. Well, I'm saying, you don't see any of these guys from different federations specifically calling out, you know, guys in the opposite federation. How often do you hear that? When's the last time Chris Jericho said, you know, Jay Lethal sucks on his Twitter?
Right.
So, you know, kind of unique to see that. I don't think I've seen that too often. That one's a mix. Okay, we got no douche, no douche, no douche. Loyal TNA fan thinks it's a douche move.
Ooh.
Because he's a loyal TNA fan. Welcome, loyal TNA fan. That's a new listener, and we're glad to have you here on the Big Al Show. Hey, don't get too upset with us. We are, at heart, you know, wrestling fans. We have been pulling for TNA, but, you know.
Should I order them? I ordered.
We ordered the $10 pay-per-views when they started, but, you know, when it's bad, you got to call it.
Sure.
Right?
Sure.
Got to call them out on it. We want it to get better.
WCW is bad. If I had a radio show back then, we did. I'd be ripping WCW too.
When Russo came along and started taking us into the toilet.
Maybe Dixie liked that wrestling show. Maybe that's why she's keeping.
Okay. Last one.
Uh-oh.
Last douche or no douche, because Jaded Wrestling Fan mentioned him. The Miz. He's a hot topic. He's rising to the top of the wrestling profession. Now, here's what we're talking about here. As a person, guys, as a person, if you met The Miz, good guy, bad guy, douche or no douche, I think he's a douche.
Yes. Yes.
Douche for The Miz.
Yeah.
And I think he's entertaining. I didn't used to. I got on him a little bit. I thought he was stupid.
He grew on me.
I think he's growing on me. I think his mic skills continue to improve. He's a pretty good wrestler. You know, he has a lot of potential. So I like The Miz as a character, but if I met him one-on-one, I don't think he'd be too nice to me.
Right, throw a drink in your face.
He might throw a drink in my face. Grim went as far as to say The Miz is the ultimate warrior of douches.
Wow.
That's a huge douche.
I don't know if he's that much.
You know, speaking of the warrior, I told you McMahon's trying to get him back in the Hall for next year, Hall of Fame.
Well, it's nice of him.
It's going to happen.
Sure. He's going to go
Think
there.
the warrior will accept this year? He didn't accept last year.
He's actually going to probably go and just tear up the whole thing, the whole place.
It's very possible.
Arsenio Hall, he did that.
Yeah, you posted that on your Twitter. Ultimate Warrior on Arsenio Hall throwing couches and acting like a weirdo, talking about Hogan. Man, the Warrior's a weird guy, isn't he?
Crowd was quiet.
That guy is so weird. Yeah, the crowd didn't know what to make of him. Oh, boy. So let's talk about Shane Douglas. Is that okay?
Sure.
Shane Douglas, first he said on his Twitter, you know, he was upset because he's been in the TNA, I guess the TNA Hardcore Justice commercials. He's on there. I didn't catch him. I haven't paid too close of attention to it. Well, I guess they featured him on there, and he hasn't agreed to appear.
Okay.
That's what he's saying, so he's upset. He feels they're misleading the fans.
Sue him.
He could.
Sure.
But he said he would appear, and he says, this is why I think it can't be legit, right? Maybe he's already signed. He said his only condition to appear is he wants to wrestle Ric Flair.
Okay.
I mean, does that mean he really wants to wrestle Rick, or if he gets in there, he's going to really start trying to hurt Rick? He's going to start throwing legit punches at Rick? Say, screw TNA, pick up a microphone and say, this is what would have happened back in old school TNA?
Sure.
That'd be a cool angle, but they won't do anything like that.
Didn't he throw up in the ring last time?
He did. Does anyone remember that when the franchise was in WCW and he pukes in the ring? That was one of the nastier moments I've seen.
He was drinking a little bit too much.
Yeah. Well, no, he just blew up, man. I don't think he was drinking. I think he was just exhausted.
I heard he was a druggie and a drinky.
No, I don't know about that.
Raven is.
Hey, WWE news.
Give it to us.
Dolph Ziggler is the new Intercontinental Champion. Beat Kofi. Boy, they didn't give Kofi much of a run with that IC title.
Told you that.
You never been a Kofi. I like Kofi.
What are you, face? You are.
I like some. Well, listen, I like some faces and I like some heels.
Come on.
You just like the heels. If a guy's not a heel, you can't touch it.
I can see you.
Kofi's not a cheese ball.
I can see you at the arena cheering for him with your sign. Such a face you are.
I'm not a face.
You used to boo for the bad guys. Remember that? We get a lot of heat.
Remember how upset I was when Hulk Hogan went heel? I was upset for about a week, guys, because I was a very, very hardcore Hulk Hogan fan.
Tough transition.
So, yeah, when Hulk Hogan went heel, I didn't know what to do at first. Like, screw this, man. Hogan is a bad guy. And, he came out the next week, kind of grew on me. Before you knew it, I loved it. I didn't like how wimpy they made him. Remember how Hulk Hogan was always begging people not to hurt him and acting like a sissy?
I wasn't ready.
Why is it when someone turns bad or they turn heel, suddenly they can't wrestle anymore? They suck and they run and they act like wimps. Yeah, AJ Styles finally was starting to grow a pair, and all of a sudden he's with Ric Flair of all people, makes him a coward? That doesn't make sense. Yeah, acts like a cheese ball. WCW.
And now,
Yeah, baby. Scott Norton, I miss him. Power bomb, working the middle, shoulder breaker. I miss the big guys. Dear Morris. Where are the fat wrestlers now in wrestling? Why does everyone have to be cut up and why can't there just be a big ass muscular wrestler that's popular? I mean, why are all the fat guys not sorry?
Hey, speaking of Scott Norton, he tweeted Dixie Carter. I like it. He said, you need a bodyguard. He wants to be your bodyguard.
In real life?
Yes, no, for the show. Because she's on TV now.
Do it.
Scott Norton of all
Scott Norton,
you're going to bring him in. But why would you, do you really want to give her a bodyguard? And if you're going to give her a bodyguard, I think you need to get someone who you want to, listen, you need to get someone who you want to push, someone who you want to, maybe make something of. Where are you going to go with Scott Norton? It would be a one-and-done situation.
Mean. He was Hogan's bodyguard and NWO. I keep telling you this.
You were in love with Scott Norton.
He was. Dude, would you mess with Scott Norton? Honestly.
Of course not. What kind of question is that?
And that's
I would mess with any huge ass guy like Scott Norton. He's the size of 4 of me.
That would kill you.
Oh, boy.
I'll be scared.
So they say, this is a rumor.
Uh-oh.
Kane's going to keep the title at SummerSlam.
Good.
Because they want him to work a title program with The Undertaker, so it's for title. Do we want to see more Undertaker and Kane, guys? What do we say? Undertaker and Kane one more time?
Yes.
For the what, 5th feud together?
Yes.
Now, wait a minute. If they have this feud, does that mean that Percy Pringle is going to come back and manage one of them and be involved in this again? Is he coming back to wrestling?
Piece of garbage, Paul, baby. I'm going to suppress him. I'll put him in there. Camouflage Reagan's right. And I'll make his fat ass. I make them fat ass. Get relax. And then I'm going to make him humble.
He speaks the truth. He speaks the truth. But I just want to know if he's coming back. That's all. Don't get mad at me. I just want to know if Percy Pringle's going to come back to wrestling. I'm dying to know. Come back, please.
He can't move.
We miss him.
He can't get out of his house now.
What do you think of the new? No, don't be.
Hey, guy. I'm being
Sal goes, wait, he had surgery.
Say about
Got your bypass. He's skinnier now.
Is he?
Yeah.
400?
What an asshole you are, TJ.
Oh, man.
Hey, they got a new match for SummerSlam. The Big Show is going to take on CM Punk, Luke Gallows, the prick, and Joey Mercury. You guys know why I don't like Luke Gallows. If you've seen the behind-the-scenes NXT video on youtube.com/KickAssWrestlingShow, you see, you didn't see the Luke Gallows part, but we were, filming wrestlers as they left the arena. The vast majority of the wrestlers were extremely nice. Some of them had their windows down. Mostly the Divas had their windows down, talking to the fans, high-fiving the fans. Truth came through, shake a couple fans' hands.
Right.
Very nice. Luke Gallows, of all people, was the one guy who driving through, puts his hand over his face so nobody could take his picture or see him. Luke Gallows, the one nobody, the zero, who if he's walking in the mall, be lucky if a little kid noticed him, puts his hand over his face. Too good for the cameras and the fans. Screw you, Gallows. Whoa. What a joke. He's a loser. He's going to be out of employment in 6 months unless he's some Vince McMahon ass.
Nah,
which he probably already is.
He doesn't care about Luke Gallows.
You like this Joey Mercury guy?
No.
What a disappointment. I thought it might be someone important taking off the mask. Nobody special.
Who did you think?
I don't know, maybe someone new. Maybe something exciting. Not Joey Mercury. But whatever. Is CM Punk is Big Show going to beat all of them?
Yes.
Yes! I hope so, too. That would be pretty cool. So we got 3 matches for SummerSlam already. 4 matches. So 4 matches for SummerSlam. They beat tomorrow's ECW pay-per-view by 2, since only 2 have been announced. I wanted to get into predictions, everybody, but we can't get into hardcore justice predictions, because there's only 2 matches. I'm going with Tommy, he's going with Raven, and we're both going with RVD over to be announced. That's it. TBA's your main event. Main event for the pay-per-view. Order it. It's worth it. Rob Van Dam's going to wrestle someone. That's it.
Magnum TA.
It might even be Magnum TA. Oh, we're just getting silly now.
No, this is true.
Oh, boy.
Sid Vicious should come back. He was in ECW once, wasn't he? Just like I said.
I'm not 100% sure.
There, tour visit. He might have.
No, what about Saturn? They didn't invite him back?
Remember that? Today we saw that. He jumped
that
off.
was WCW stuff.
Yes, he
Saturn versus Raven.
totally missed. The guy came out too early.
They say that Spike TV was impressed with Paul Heyman. I guess they had a conference call. Well, no shit. Really. Because maybe the guy sounded like he actually knew what the hell was going on in wrestling. Maybe he actually, told them a few booking 101 suggestions that Vince Russo doesn't think are important. And the Spike guys probably said, wait, that sounds like a good idea. You mean you actually treat it like a sport, like it's real? You mean like so the fans actually, feel like they're watching a real sport? And it's not silly and goofy with all these dumb stunts and gimmicks? Yeah, that's it. That's a great idea. Somebody tell Vince Russo.
The stipulation should be fire Russo all coming.
Ron wants to see RVD and Sabu.
Ron's done.
I love Sabu. And him and RVD are like BFFs. And they've had a lot of good matches. Would be good chemistry.
Sabu's cool.
They could probably tear the house down, to be honest with you. So I would endorse that.
Yeah, Sabu's the man.
Sorry, Grim, no Terry Funk. Grim wants to see Terry Funk. Funk said he was not going to be at the pay-per-view. I guess they didn't even ask him.
Oh, funk you there.
Yeah, funk you. How do you have a hardcore pay-per-view without Terry Funk? They asked Funk if he would still wrestle. He said, yeah, he'd like to have one more with Ric Flair.
Yeah. Why is everyone telling the secret? I think Ric Flair's hated. Is it because he was the man for so long?
Not just that. I think all these older guys see Flair on TNA.
Right.
He's at the front of the program. He's one of the main things. And they're thinking, they want to be in the spotlight, too.
They can't be in the spotlight.
Flair's one of a kind.
Man.
He's one of a kind.
He still has it.
Bleeds every week.
Yeah.
Gets destroyed every week.
Talks mad trash.
That's one of the best speakers ever. Great actor, great charisma, knows where to be, knows how to wrestle. Can you come up with a more perfect package than Ric Flair? Now, overall, I would say Hogan was, of course, the biggest thing ever in wrestling. But if you're talking about, if you want to incorporate wrestling skill into it, you can't be Ric Flair, can you? I mean, he had probably the best mic work ever, maybe. Him and Piper? No?
Yes.
Debatable. I would definitely say Flair, one of the greats.
Piper was damn good, too.
Okay, WWE stock.
Oh.
A little bit more news to go, and then we're gonna play some games.
You have that.
I used to have WWF stock. Yes, I did, but I sold it a long time ago. Luckily, it's down 7%. I guess the pay-per-view buys not so hot. The last 3 pay-per-views has gone down. In relation to the pay-per-views of last year. McMahon says that's because of the economy and the changing roster. I guess he's trying to imply, a lot of our older wrestlers are leaving, and we've got a lot of the younger guys coming up. So that's the reason.
Could it be that there's Justin TV?
You think Justin TV is the cause? A lot of streams?
Review? Yes.
Well, he thinks it's the WrestleMania parties. Remember that was his excuse last time? He said everyone is inviting friends over and having a WrestleMania party.
We have the SummerSlam party coming up.
I have a wrestling party every week. Vince McMahon.
SummerSlam party. We're not going to order the SummerSlam, though.
Yeah. So we are going to have a party.
Yeah.
So, listen to this. Fatal 4-Way. The Bash, which was the pay-per-view for that month last year, did 178,000 buys, which is by no means that good by WWF standards. TNA, if they did 178,000 buys, would shit their pants. It would not happen.
The whole year they can't get it.
The whole year they might not get 178,000 buys. But Fatal 4-Way did 143. So a pretty significant drop for Fatal 4-Way. I thought that what a dumb name for a gimmick pay-per-view. Vince just thinks if you put a stupid gimmick title on it, it's going to sell pay-per-views.
What he's doing.
Money in the bank. It didn't work, Vince, and we all knew that.
Changing the name all the time, though. They're doing it all the time.
Shout out to everybody in the chat, all our luchadors, all our guests, Ingay, the Jaded Wrestling fan. Thanks for stopping by, brother Bryce. Loyal TNA fan, thank you for checking us out. Hope you come back. Nutty Rock Chick. Whoa, Nutty. She's with us. She's crazy, everybody. You got to watch out for her. Portia Anderson. Yes. We'd love to have Portia on the show. Hopefully she gives our love to Booker T.
Ron Studd, right?
And Harlem Heat Jr.
Oh,
Harlem
Heat Jr., yes.
And Ron Studd is in the chat.
Yes.
You're right. Welcome, Ron.
How come you never say to her to say hi to Stevie Ray for me?
We do. I don't think she knows Stevie Ray. I don't think she talks to him very often.
Huh.
I'm sorry, man. Your dream's not going to come true.
Sucks.
Portia wants to talk about Lucha Libre USA. This is the show on MTV, I believe. I only caught a trailer. I don't watch much TV, but I got to catch it on a screen. Ooh.
Whoa.
Yeah, I got to catch it. But I hear it's pretty good.
It's their second go-around on MTV Wrestling.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they had a show before.
I know. You always bring that up.
I haven't seen it. I don't know. I'm just telling you. It's their second stuff.
It's a boy and a girl. Booker T. Portia's telling us it's a boy and a girl. Sorry.
Shit.
It can't be Harlem.
Do you have another boy?
Possibly.
The girl could be the manager.
You know what, TNA TJ, you going to watch Lucha Libre this week? Talk about it next week?
Sure. Why not?
I'll give it a go-ahead. Let's give him something a little different.
I'll give it a shot.
Yeah, Lucha Libre.
Can't hurt.
I miss the Lucha Libre from WCW. They always open their nitros, usually, with a nice Lucha Libre match to get the crowd hot and excited for everything that would follow.
I liked it.
Movie.
Who else?
Hey, what do you think about... I missed this last week. I'm sorry, guys. I watched TNA this week. They brought the TV title back.
Yes. No, I like
That's pretty cool.
That is cool. Tradition.
Give me some. Old school. Now, AJ Styles isn't really a TV.
No.
He's better than that.
Yeah.
You know, you could push a U.S. title on him. U.S. title was always kind of like an intercontinental title. Now, I have a question here, and this is probably stupid. But since they, WWF owns the WCW rights, and that was such a well-known title for them, the TV title, it's okay for them to use that.
Apparently.
So does that mean they could also have their own intercontinental title? Wouldn't the WWF be able to say, we have an established trademark over that name, that title has a certain prestige? Could they? I don't know. Is that a dumb question?
They're saying Wolfpack.
Well, now they're just pushing it with the Wolfpack. But I'm talking about titles. I mean, they literally brought back a WCW. This was a WCW title. I know it's just a name, the TV, World Heavyweight title. Obviously, you can't copyright that. But TV, U.S., Intercontinental, these are identifiable titles, right? You think U.S. title, you think of that title. Intercontinental title,
true.
You think of that specific title.
Yeah.
So could we have an ECW Could we have a TNA Intercontinental Champion if they wanted to?
I don't think they would, but maybe.
But could they?
Maybe.
Yeah. I like bringing back the TV title. I hope that they stick with it. It sounds better than global title.
Yes. There's no more tag team titles, I guess. Apparently tag teams are done. Tag teams are done? Yes.
Tag teams, well, the Motor City Machine Guns having some nice matches with Beer Money. They're nice matches. Listen, guys, I know they're having some great 10-minute, battles.
Ooh, long.
But, they're 10, 15 minutes. You're still not pushing it. I'm still not seeing what I want to see. I'm still not seeing that old school style before we start getting too excited about tag team wrestling. Let's really bring it back.
That's right.
But I do like the matches. I didn't like the, silly little Ultimate X matches where they have to grab the X off the wire. Kind of dumb. It's getting silly, I don't know what does that have to do with wrestling? I get the whole steel cage that was meant to, keep everyone out, settle a feud. An X hanging from a wire. I don't know if that's my thing.
Lumberjack match. Those are cool.
Lumberjack match.
Yes. No? They all the wrestlers.
I like them. They haven't been done for a while. They don't overdo them too much. I like them if they're done in moderation. Like any of these gimmick matches, they have to be done in moderation.
How about the Shane Douglas for the, what was it, for the pills? The pills on the rope match?
The Viagra on a pole. Viagra on a pole. Vince Russo, right. It almost seems like you're making that up, right? Because who would really have a Viagra on a pole match?
It's true. Oh, by the way, it was in real glass, and it actually cut him on accident. He landed on it and cut his back up.
Really?
Yes.
Unbelievable. Hey, you know what I heard? I had never heard this rumor. I wasn't really paying attention to dirt sheets. But I guess last year, talking about the Intercontinental title, I guess last year Mysterio refused to drop it to Dolph Ziggler. I guess he was supposed to win it, which is kind of You know, that's taking a stand, Mysterio. And then I guess suddenly he got busted for drugs. The drug policy caught Mysterio.
Wow.
So do you think those two had anything to do with each other? I know this is probably old news. I don't remember hearing about it. I wasn't paying too much attention.
Mysterio doing drugs.
That's old news. You knew that. You knew that was going on.
I don't like that.
But do you think that was a little, you want to be, you know, tough guy and not drop the title, huh? Well, your test just came back.
Right.
You know, you got a test right now.
Right.
Here's the cup, you know.
Guilty.
Yeah, so.
That 75 pounds you added on wasn't natural, huh?
What do you think of Dolph? We already talked about him.
He's all right.
You like him?
He's okay. He's okay.
I'll give him a chance. To me, I wish they would have stuck with Kofi for a minute.
Oh, come on.
I like Kofi.
God, really?
So what else, guys? I wanted to do longer predictions. This is upsetting me that TNA only had the 2 matches scheduled. We were going to go through them, and then I realized there was nothing there.
Just a bunch of TBA.
to be announced down the card. Is that good? Could that not? Obviously can be good for promotion. But if you already like ECW, you're ready to go, you're ordering the pay-per-view, or you're watching the pay-per-view somehow, having a party, maybe at your house.
Sure.
Are you excited because you don't know what's going to happen next, right? You don't know what the next match is going to be. That's kind of cool for a one-time kind of deal, right?
Big question mark on the pay-per-view.
Question mark all over the pay-per-view. It should have just been the poster, right? A big question mark.
Right.
Hardcore Justice. Who's going to wrestle?
Right.
Beats us.
You got to pay for it.
Whoever accepts $500.
You got to buy it to see.
Yeah. I still can't get over that was the pay for these guys. $500 for a night.
Big money. Pretty sad.
So we could have, 10 ECW wrestlers. We could have a show. Let's get a ring. $5,000. For $5,000, you could put on. Obviously there's more expenses, but you could get 10 ECW guys at that rate. Come on, TNA is making some money off these guys. I don't care what you say. They might be spending big on these Hogan contracts and the Bischoff and RVD. They might be spending a little bit more, but geez, they are shorting some of these guys if they're paying, these ECW guys one-time appearance fee of $500.
But they're not working. You know what I mean?
So what? You want them, you're using them. They're known names. They're known commodities. You're going to make a good bump. They're going to make some money off these guys, more than they have been. They were getting 8,000 buys.
Indie shows are probably paying them $300 to $400, $500 a match.
Exactly.
This is more
exactly. There are indie shows that are probably paying that rate, if not very close to it.
Yeah, but they just want to be on TV. Indie shows, they don't have TV. Buff Bagwell's doing indie shows. What do you think?
It's a damn shame. We need to get wrestling on more television.
Inferno?
We need to give the fans a choice. A lot of wrestling fans, there's a lot of fans out there who don't listen, guys, anymore. They're not paying attention anymore. They're gone. They're not. They don't care what Big Al's talking about. They don't care what we're talking about. They're done with wrestling. But they're out there. And if the product changes, if they treat it like a sport again, they might come back. Maybe. We could probably still get them, but I don't see that happening right now. And we're not bashing on TNA. WWE is not doing anything mind-blowing either.
Yeah.
Other than the Nexus idea, what has the WWE done in the past few years? Big picture storyline-wise, what have they done? Nexus. That's it. They're not really doing anything in depth. No, a guy not liking a guy and fighting for a title is not a big picture storyline. They used to really build up some of these feuds. Remember when I always talk about the 4 pay-per-views, they had 3 months to build for a match.
Sure.
That was a good time to hype it. You can't hype these matches in 3 weeks, let alone 3 days, TNA.
Because they don't have jobbers. I keep telling you this.
Yeah.
They don't have jobbers. Jobbers is what makes the weeks go by. A guy wrestles a jobber for a week or two. You're building up a feud with this other guy on the side.
Would WWE right now take Samoa Joe if he was released?
No. They had Samoa Joe before.
Did they have him?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
I thought they offered him a contract.
No.
They offered him some money.
And they let him go. Same with Matt Morgan. He was a stuttering guy.
But you don't think now?
No.
Times have changed.
No.
What do you guys in the chat think? Samoa Joe's released tomorrow. Does WWE want him? Do they pick him up? I think they pick him up. I don't know if they push him right away. I don't know if they do anything with him. I don't know if he succeeds. I think they pick him up and they put him somewhere.
With what? Some tag team?
I don't know if they would put him on SmackDown or Raw. I don't know if they wouldn't throw him on NXT season 3. Yeah. You don't think they would do that? I think they would do it.
Sure.
They put Low Ki on NXT.
Sure.
Low Ki's been around forever.
Okay.
Caval, anyone who knows, wrestling will recognize that guy. They've been watching.
Sure. Okay,
so. Would they do that to Samoa Joe?
Maybe.
Why not?
Yeah, it doesn't hurt. I told you that's what I
Bryce says Samoa Joe has no value to the WWE.
He agrees. He understands what I'm
Kurt
saying.
says, who cares about Samoa Joe?
There we go. You see, they're speaking the truth.
But Nutty Rock Chick says that they should pick him up. See, he has his fans. They're around.
AJ Styles, yes.
Is his fan base big enough to make a difference? Bryce says no, clearly not, or they would be in TNA, right? If any of these one guys had these huge fan bases, these Goldberg-like, Cena-like, Hogan-like fan bases, you would see it in the ratings.
They buy him out.
You know, they wouldn't need ECW to go to a point. Yeah. Their contract would expire in WWE would be, McMahon would be flying into the best hotels, the best places in the country.
If there was a Goldberg guy in TNA,
don't you? They just got lucky and that guy like caught on and caught fire.
Yes, the man would say, "I'll buy you." I don't care if they sue you for your contract. I'll buy it out. It's not gonna happen, dude. WWE doesn't want any TNA star. It's truth. They already took Truth. They took the Truth.
Yeah,
I like the Truth, but he was there in WWE.
Sure. And they let him go, okay, quick. TNA made a little something of him, and then very rare. Usually, give WWE credit, they don't let them get away very often.
Right.
If they get a talent, they usually know how to use them.
Mm-hmm.
Now, look at these guys like The Undertaker.
That's right.
He had a little name for himself with Sid and the Skyscrapers, and then next thing you know, he's The Undertaker, and it's a whole new ballgame. Signing Steve Austin.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, look at the best, some of the best guys.
Steve Austin is an ECW product. I know you're saying WWE, but he actually was a badass in ECW before he went to WWE.
Okay. That's fair. You could make that argument and say ECW helped spur that on.
Yeah.
And you could go down the list of guys that, the WWE saw the value in. They're not very good with other promotions wrestlers.
No.
A DDP or Goldberg, they're probably not going to do so great with them. Scott Steiner, now Steiner was a little older when they got him. I would say Steiner worked out for them. Hey, who else? I mean, you could go down the list, but Hunter Hearst Helmsley, Triple H, his daughter's husband, Edge, all these guys, WCW had them first.
He's a jobber.
And they let them slip through their fingers. Could you imagine? WCW could have had, Edge, Triple H, Steve Austin, The Undertaker, all could have been WCW guys.
Yeah, but they had guys, too. You can't rip WCW. Eddie Guerrero, Rey Mysterio, these guys were mad popular in WCW, too.
Eddie Guerrero definitely didn't even come close to his peak.
No, but he was still popular.
Got to the WWE.
That was Rey Mysterio, but they were still big.
Mysterio was popular. Mysterio was popular.
I'm not saying they didn't get bigger, but they were popular.
Jericho was popular. But, like we said today, and we were watching an old pay-per-view today, guys. What was it? Bash at the Beach, 98?
Yes.
And, Lodi. And, WCW wasted so many main events when they could have had Jericho wrestling Hogan. They could have had Eddie Guerrero wrestling Scott Hall, or I think he did wrestle Scott Hall a few times, maybe.
He did.
Yeah. So I guess they did that. But you didn't see guys like Kevin Nash mixing it up with them. You didn't see Goldberg mixing it up with him too much. I think he did a little thing with Jericho back in the day, but for the most part, you didn't see the big push. Now, Malenko, not one of my favorites. I see what you're not going to push him as a world champion. They pushed the hell out of Benoit eventually. They did. Now, if we want to get into Benoit, I'm not really a Chris Benoit guy. I never have been, guys. I'm sorry. I know he's a great wrestler, but you guys know I've never been a fan of Chris Benoit.
Wolverine.
Yeah, he does look like a no charisma Wolverine. If you sucked all the charisma and life out of Wolverine, he would look like Chris Benoit.
Boring.
Do you think that if Benoit had ever been involved in TNA, they would mention him on TV? Because he's wiped completely from the books in the WWE. It's like he doesn't exist. Think TNA would mention him?
No.
Think he would be off limits as well?
Everywhere. I don't think anybody mentioned him.
Yeah. Well, we're going to be shutting down here fairly soon, so we want to thank everybody for stopping by in the chat. Ron, Portia, Nutty Rock Chick, loyal TNA fan, Jaded Wrestling fan, and yay, our guests. Who's not here today? Unusual, Harrison.
I know.
Yeah, usually he's here every week. Hopefully he's okay.
Upset. I told you, Rob Terry lost.
The global title. The TV title now.
He's upset about it.
He's upset. Oh, well. Let's do this.
Whoa.
Last couple minutes here. I want to tell everybody next week, okay, I want you all to come by. We have a very special show.
Oh.
It's going to be a little different.
We do.
Okay, we like to switch it up on you guys. Doesn't have a little bit of news, We're going to have the TNA, WWE thing.
Nice.
Talk about hardcore justice. Get ready for SummerSlam. Yes, but we got a special guest next week.
Oh.
And you guys know I wanted to take it back. Okay, old school days. Big Al, when he was a wrestling fan, back when he was a kid, okay, back in 88, 89, I used to fight to stay up late as I could, because I knew if I stayed up late enough, the gorgeous ladies of wrestling would be on, and they would come on the weekends.
Oh.
I loved it. Now, you know, I was just a young kid then, probably 8, 9, 10 years old or so. But for me, boy, that was exciting. You had some beautiful women in some skimpy outfits, and it was all female wrestling.
That's right.
You don't see that right now, do you?
No.
All female wrestling, they had their gimmicks. These characters were outrageous. They were bigger than life. It was really all about the character, I think, in Glow.
Right.
You know, they wrestled, they had their wrestling, but for the most part, these wrestling ladies were characters. They were personas. And next week, we're going to have one of those characters with us on the Big Al Show.
Nice.
None other than Beastie,
Ooh,
the Road Warrior.
man.
Beastie, the Road Warrior. Who they dressed her. Boy, they dressed her just like a road warrior, hawk and animal. Had the face paint and everything.
Nice.
But the personality on her, and I want all the Big Al Show listeners to go out there, do the YouTube thing, look up what you can, let's impress the Road Warrior Beastie next week.
Right.
Call in. Let's get Harris, let's get Grimm, let's get all the regulars. Call on in and ask Miss Beastie some questions about Beastie, the Road Warrior. I saw some matches, and I remember her, but I wanted to refresh my memory. I looked up some matches on YouTube. Quite a personality on this woman. She screamed like hell. Ran all over the place. Very wild, very, you know, she had character.
That's right.
She had some charisma to her, you know. That's what's really missing. It's not all about, you know, superior wrestling skill. Now, I'm not downing wrestling skill completely, but you got to have character.
Sure.
Almost all those women had characters. That's why it became a real cult classic.
Sure.
Glow still has a pretty big following today. You know, in Vegas, they still have Glow
Nice.
Wrestling.
They used to rap.
It's just a show, though, now, but I mean, they did the rap thing. They had seasons. You know, that was something that was different, or a wrestling show that had seasons.
It's awesome.
It's different. And we're going to talk about all that stuff on the Big Al Show next week with Beastie the Road Warrior. Call. I know you have a question. Don't say it yet. It's a great question. TNA TJ has a great question for Beastie next week. So we hope all you guys will tune in. We're going to talk some wrestling. We're going to talk to some old Glow wrestlers, everybody.
Yes.
The Road Warrior Beastie next week on the Big Al Show. So anything else you want to say?
WCW, I miss it. I want to go home and cry.
You know what that means.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to go home, actually. I'm not going to cry tonight. I'm going to actually get out my WCW. You got to say. And I'm going to watch it all night long, please. Yes, I'm going to see Todd North do some power slam. Prince IAKL lose another match. Old school Jericho. Yes, the Lion Steamer. This stuff. Who else they had? Alex Light ripping on us Americans for being idiots, not speaking German other languages. All he wanted to do was understand.
Hey, we got a question from Grimm. He's only the WCW guy. He wants to know, what's the name of the WCW rapper? He was like a big, fat, purple and orange mess. I don't know, WCW rapper. We got 90 seconds, TNA TJ, for you to come up with this.
Purple and orange mess? What's that mean?
Purple and orange. I don't think he's talking about Public Enemy.
No, that was a group.
Oh, WCW rapper.
Rap.
Do you remember WCW rapper? Big, fat, purple guy?
I don't.
Not Mabel. I mean, he's a WWF guy.
I
don't think he rapped, did he?
Master P was the closest thing, and he was
No, he's not talking about Master P.
No, I know, but I don't think...
I don't think we're going to get it, Grimm. I'm sorry. You stumped WCW Tom here.
There wasn't a rapper.
He freestyled. He was orange. His costume was orange. I don't think you're going to make it, man.
Roadblock?
Roadblock never rapped. Roadblock. R.I.P. Roadblock, if anybody remembers him.
Oh, he's dead?
He's dead.
Terrible.
He's gone. So, everybody, that's it. Time's running out. Next week, the Road Warrior Beastie, Beastie the Road Warrior, is going to be here from Glow. We're going to talk to her. She's been all around the world. You know, she was on the Donahoe Donahue Show.
Phil Donahue.
Phil Donahue. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about all sorts of stuff. It's been everywhere. She went to Japan Wrestling.
Nice.
A lot of experiences to share. Big Al, TNA next week. Join us. Special show. We love you guys. Thank you. And good night.